This is the year 1887. A German philosopher named Friedrich Nietzsche sits alone, far away from the noise of the world, writing about the future of humanity. He isn't just describing his own time, he's looking far beyond it, into a world where old values have collapsed, where God no longer defines what is right and what is wrong, a world where human beings are left alone with a kind of freedom they never asked for. Nietzsche writes about a moment when humanity loses its belief in absolute truth, when there is no longer a single meaning to inherit. And in that moment, he says, a new type of person will emerge. He calls them the last man. This person does not strive for greatness. They don't search for truth. They are not willing to suffer for something higher. They want only one thing: comfort, entertainment, stability. They avoid risk. They avoid depth. They avoid anything that might force them to change. And if you look at the modern internet, it feels like that moment has already arrived. Today, one of the clearest symbols of this new world is Kai Cenat, one of the biggest streamers on the planet. A person who can hold the attention of millions for hours at a time. His streams are chaos, energy, noise, constant movement. There are no pauses, no silence, no space for thought to settle. Every second has to be engaging. Every moment has to be more intense than the last. Every reaction has to be louder. This isn't just entertainment. It's a system built to capture attention and never let it go. And this is exactly where Nietzsche's warning begins to make sense. When he said God is dead, he didn't mean religion in a literal sense. He meant that we no longer have a shared source of truth. There is no higher authority deciding what matters. And when that disappears, a vacuum is created. Something has to fill it. But in our world, that vacuum wasn't filled by philosophy, or culture, or new values. It was filled by content. Now the algorithm decides what exists. The algorithm decides what matters. If something gets views, it becomes real. If it doesn't, it disappears. Truth is no longer something to discover. It's something to optimize, measured in clicks, likes, and watch time. In this world, a streamer is no longer just a person on a screen. They are a center of gravity for attention, a point around which millions of minds begin to orbit. Kai Cenat has become one of the most successful figures in this system. He understands attention. He knows how to hold it. He can feel when to raise the energy, when to add chaos, when to push things even further. But here's the paradox. It looks like he's in control, like he's driving everything, like he is the source of this energy. But in reality, he's just as dependent on the system as his audience. Because attention is a new form of power, and that power is unstable. It only exists as long as it's being held. The moment attention drops, everything disappears. That's why every stream has to be louder than the last, every moment more intense, every reaction bigger. It's an endless escalation, a race with no finish line. And this is where we return to the last man. Nietzsche described them as someone who no longer wants to be great, someone who doesn't want to go beyond themselves, someone who only wants comfort and stimulation. They don't ask difficult questions. They don't search for meaning. They search for the next hit. And modern streaming delivers exactly that. A constant stream of stimulation, endless noise, endless dopamine. The viewer is no longer just watching. They are consuming, faster and faster, without pause, without depth. And at some point, it becomes hard to tell where entertainment ends and dependency begins. Kai Cenat didn't create this person. He didn't invent this system. He simply became its perfect product. Nietzsche also imagined another possibility. The Übermensch, a person who creates their own values, who doesn't follow the crowd, who can face chaos and still create meaning.